Hi, it's Shannon Cherry from shannoncherry.com, and today I want to share with you some of my tracking tips for your email metrics. The thing is, email can work really well. Email marketing is a great tool. However, you always need to keep looking at what's going on so you can improve it and get better results. So let's get started with my first tip. One of the things you should always look at is which emails are getting open the most. And you just find out by viewing your stats. Often, the opening has to do with the time of day as well as the subject line. So take a look at both of those and see what's working for you. The next thing you should take a look at is the clicks that you are getting. And of course, most autoresponder programs do have this kind of tracking as well. The thing is, you want to know how many people have opened and then the percentage of people who opened who actually followed through on what you were saying. One of my quick tips on this is always put a link in your email. The idea here is to train your community to click, to see a link and click on it. So keep that up no matter what. Don't add attachments, make them click to get a freebie. All of that stuff is really important. Number 3, check out your spam complaints. You know, I don't make a big deal about this, but you really do need to just make sure that you are not getting a lot of complaints. If I get 1 or 2 complaints a month, it's a miracle, meaning that I don't get that many, and that's good. So anything over about 1% is something you should be worried about. Aweber, the service I use, actually tracks this a little bit more in detail. And remember, spam complaints are different than opt-outs. People who say you're spamming them don't remember signing up for your list. So sometimes it's good to have that double opt-in just to prove that they've done that. Now, your web form stats. This is something you should take a look at too. This is how your sign-up form is, and the number of people who have actually looked at that opt-in page versus the number of people who have actually signed up. What you want to do is test again and find out which forms do the best and keep those forms up. Currently, pop-ups are the thing that is really trending right now and getting the most opt-ins. Also check out how many new subscribers you are getting each and every day. What I have done here is I know exactly what promotions I'm doing at what time and watching the opt-ins happen on a daily basis. So I know what promotions are working to get more opt-ins and what aren't. So that's why that daily new subscriber metric is so important, because you can see which trends are really going on. And I have several different opt-ins, so I can also see what is interesting people on a daily, on a quarterly basis. It's a really good. And also look at your monthly subscribers. Who's coming and going by reviewing your monthly subscription stats? What you want to see here is any trends that are going on. How many people are actually coming into your email list based on what you're promoting at that time? If you see you've done something different one month versus another month and you've seen different results, replicate the one that obviously did very well. Delivery stats are also important. You need to find out what percentage of your emails are actually being delivered. And I know this can get a little hairy because a lot of programs don't do that. Autoresponders have different effectiveness rates, meaning how they deliver and their deliverability rates. Aweber, the one I've mentioned before, actually has the best deliverability rate in the world. Shopping carts, on the other hand, like One Shopping Cart or Infusionsoft, has some of the worst deliverability rates. So keep that in mind as you are using whatever email service you're using. Also, you want to take a look at what countries are actually opening up and subscribing from your emails. This is important because if it is someplace outside the U.S. that is having the more people opt in, perhaps Australia or England, the language, even though it's English, is a slightly different, and you may want to cater your writing style to their style versus an American style or United States style if you are in the U.S. It's a little different, the language is a little different, and you might want to keep that in mind by knowing who is opening up and subscribing to your emails. You also want to take a look at, if you're in the U.S., what time zone and what states are the ones who are subscribing to your list. This can tell you the optimal time that is best for the most people who are on your list. For example, a majority of the people on my list are from the West Coast. So I make sure they get their email, and they expect it from me, before the working day, before 9 a.m. starts. Now, that means on the East Coast, they're getting it around noon, and they seem to be okay with that. When I try different times, and that's what knowing your metrics is about, it doesn't work as effectively. So just keep that in mind. Finally, the biggest metric of all is sales. How much are you selling as a result of your emails? This is important. Now, emails don't sell. You should never put a link to a buy button in your emails. They just don't work that way. People usually need a lot more coaxing. So you want to drive traffic to a sales page. But if you see that people are converting, meaning buying, from an email to the sales page because you've sent out an email, that is something you need to know, because those are the emails that are working to drive traffic to your sales page. Also, if you're driving a lot of traffic to a specific sales page via email and you're not converting sales, you may want to take a look at that sales page, because it could be that the sales page isn't doing its job effectively. If you are interested in learning more about list building and email marketing, check out discovereasylistbuilding.com. I'm Shannon Cherry.